What's up, folks? Oh man. Hang on 2 seconds. All right, a little bit more in 2 seconds, but I'm back. My name is Eric. I am your host for this next 5 minutes. Right now it's March 27, 2025. I'm just going to talk to you really quickly about what I did today. Oh man, today was a day like no other. Okay, so I was messing around with fundamental quotes today, and I'm afraid to even bring it up. So let me pull up, if I can find it. Come on, work with me here. All right, so I'm going to pull up my radar screen, and hopefully it doesn't crash on me. But you know, TradeStation it's okay. It's nice in that it's fairly robust, that it has the easy language, the programming environment where you can do quite a bit, but it's not 100%. It's not foolproof. It's not super consistent, and I'm starting to pull my hair out a little bit because I'm really trying to get into the nitty gritty of the market. I'm trying to find the razor sharp edge, and somewhere in my tiny brain, I say that I can find that razor sharp edge, and it'll be so sharp, it'll be consistent every time. The problem is that I'm not finding that TradeStation is that consistent, and I'm open to critique, to criticism. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a professional programmer, but what I have found is that there's some issues with TradeStation's programming environment that lends to one having a lot of frustration, one having a lot of hair. It's interesting because there's somebody in one of the forums that says, a programmer without hair loss. Well, I certainly have hair loss, but that was before the programming. Nonetheless, I've been working with Fundamental Quotes Provider. One of the members in Discord, AutoTS, he was suggesting that maybe we come up with a program that can capture the earnings surprises or misses. So I've been working on that. I've had to use Fundamental Quotes Provider to do that. But there's an issue with Fundamental Quotes Provider. Let me bring you over to the development environment and see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so back over here. Okay, so I'm not getting. All right, hang on 2 seconds. Let me get my development environment. Okay, well, there it is, but it's not showing up. Oh, here we go. I think. This. I need this, and this, and this, and this. That. There we go. Okay, so if I go over to the fundamental earnings day, this is essentially what I put together. I mean, it's very basic. It's not a long script, 100 lines or so, and all of them aren't needed. What I was pretty much doing was trying to come up with, hang on. All right, there we go. That audio might be a little bit better. I was trying to come up with a program that would capture the earnings per share, store that in a hold variable, and then once we got an update of the fundamental quotes provider, if that new earnings per share was different from the hold value of the earnings per share, then we would show something on the screen to signify that we had a change, that we had an earnings per share change, and that would also log in my file as well. That would log on a file, give me information on a text file so that I could then go back and work it. So now, obviously the idea there though is that we would find if there was a earnings miss or earnings surprise, we could find it out, really quickly. Or not only find out really quickly, but we could put it all in one radar screen, one profile to show us, all right, well, if we have 80% of our earnings green, then we could say that's probably a good sign that we might be going up. Or if we had 80% of them red, we could say, you know what, we're probably going to be a little bit weak on the day. That is crazy. Because I don't know what earnings did for Lululemon, but it moved up the first part of the day. And then now it just completely tanked, right? So 341 to 315, I think it was Lululemon. Yeah, so the first part of the morning, it moved up a nice little bit. And then it just, oh, wow. That's crazy. Anyway, you don't know what the market's going to do, man. You just really don't. Anyway, what I was working on today afterwards is a script that will show me where my trades are. Now, brace yourself, okay? Again, I'm not a professional trader. I'm not professionally making money or anything like that. Today was a green day. I traded micros. I traded one contract at a time. It was a green day. It was $30 green. Again, I only traded one micro at a time. But anyway, I opened my position here. And actually and that's the other thing that I got to figure out. I don't know if I'm going to put the data in separately or if I'm going to put because the information that I export from TradeStation from TopStep doesn't have if you're going short or going long. So I might have to put that in separate, and then I can add another line to my script. But this was actually going short. This would have been beautiful if it was going long, right? I mean, I went short here thinking we were going on down, to the bottom down here. I went short here for kind of a momentum play. I thought it would bounce here and then keep down, but it didn't. So I got out of my position right here. Of course, this was the perfect area to take stops, right? Yeah. So then when I saw it hesitating and starting to go down, I went short. Obviously I stopped out here, but then I went short here, and then I took profit here. And then I entered here with the stop down here. That was close, but then I exited here, and then I saw that this was a nice area of support for a second leg. So I entered again here, and then I exited up here. So again, this was a recommendation from one of my good friends. He said pretty much you need to really see on the chart what you're doing, especially when you're doing these combines and when you're trading on another platform. You need to be able to see on your charts, with all of your information, you need to be able to see where these trades are taking place. And I said, you know what? I agree. It's taken me a long time to actually do this, and the program is a little bit long, if I would say so myself. It's long for what I thought it would be. This is the script here. So it's pretty much taking the Excel spreadsheet. It's taken the data and so first in the Excel spreadsheet, what I do is I go and I concatenate everything, and I do a text join. And so everything is in one long string file, delimited with commas. And so then I just take that and I very easily push that into a vector. All right. And then I take that information that's in the vector, I put that into a token list, and then I go ahead and I take the value of this value here is the date, time that the trade happened. And so I had to remove some extra information from that string. And then once I removed that, now I had a string that I could use for date, time. I removed the seconds and I removed the minutes, or I added a minute to it so it would coincide with TradeStation's chart. All right. And then what I did was I added that to a dictionary, and it's a global dictionary, so I can move this information from one chart to another. Now I did this a different way previously. I think I put it directly in a global dictionary. No, I think previously I stayed on the workbook. I stayed on the worksheet, and I did all my calculations on the worksheet, and that took much longer. There was a lot more processing for the computer. And so, like I said, this time, this rendition, what I did was I removed the information from the Excel spreadsheet and I did all the calculations within easy language, and it was way quicker. All right, so, and then I go down and I just take the information, put it again in another token list, and I split the information off. I pull off the, if it said it was a closing trade or an opening trade, and then I pull the execution price, and then I, put that into text labels so that it's populates on the chart, and it does pretty nice. So like I said, the only other thing I might want to do is, if, say for instance, if this was going short, I might want this to be red, and if it was going long, I might want it to be blue, something like that. So I'll figure out how to make that make sense and make it more usable for me. Because right now, when like I said, if I just look at this, I'm like, oh man, I went long there and I exited, and that was a perfect trade. But that wasn't the case. So anyway, all right, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Like I said, keeping it short and sweet. The other thing is what I was working on. This is what I've been working on recently in terms of recording the screen and trying to get an idea of if we have order blocks anywhere. And when I say order blocks, I mean specifically a block of orders that comes through sequentially and with high size. So like we had an order block here on the bid side, it moved up. Order block here on the bid side, it didn't move up right away. Order block on the ask side. So I haven't really been able to find what works the best, but if I look over the past day or two, I've been finding that order blocks on the bid size pushes me up, and on the ask side usually will push me down. These green bars here, these are bars that indicate that we had a high amount of we had a contract or a executable, a trade that had a high share size, contract size to it. So when you see these at these areas of a pivot here, boom, kind of makes sense, right? Boom. And then when you see it here and it's pushing down, see it here, it's pushing down. So anyway, like I said, hadn't got it all figured out yet. If I had, then we'd be having a different conversation. All right. Anyway, I'm Eric. I have been your host. I'm out. Peace.